never drank before. Never at all drank. Never drank in my life. The other night, I decided to go with Mr. McSpicy on a little boat ride.
Oh, I got where you're going.
We got a little hammered while driving what is it called? A schooner, a spooler? We're black still on screen. A schooner, a spool, whatever. The small ship, a small,
a
ship,
sloppy,
a sloppy, a sloop,
a sloppy
sloop.
Sloop means boat with one sail.
I got drunk. I tried to drive the boat. This is in game, of course. I threw up all over. First of all, Spicy threw up all over me. I think I threw up all over myself a couple times. I was pretty messy.
Oh, I threw up everywhere.
Then I tried to dance on the stern of the boat, and I fell right off into the deep blue sea.
You had to go swimming drunk.
Deep blue swimming drunk. Who knew? Who knew that it could be so much fun getting hammered on an old-fashioned ship as a pirate?
A sloopy slop.
A sloopy sloppy slop. Welcome, everybody, to the X1Bros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox One community. This is podcast number 203. How is everybody doing today? Sea of Thieves is here. We're going to be talking about it a lot. We're going to be getting a new feature, the community review, as well. But first and foremost, as always, I am joined by the bros, the X1Bros. It's Mr. McSpicy, Mark Haywood.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I am Mr. McSpicy.
Yes. Now, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Your beard that you got going.
Yeah.
Give me your maintenance.
It depends on my mood, actually.
Your maintenance pattern. What is this? Once a week? Once a month? Twice a month?
Yeah. Trimming is probably every 3 days or so.
You got to keep that off the neck.
Yeah,
that
exactly. Off the neck, and actually, here, let me keep the camera on me. The nice thing about a beard, it doesn't matter where you go with it.
Sure.
If you trim it, it's going to look good.
Okay.
So right now, because I used to do the tight,
like thinner.
Yeah, the Riker. I call it the Riker from Commander Riker from Star Trek.
Okay.
You go thin and go down like here. If you just trim that up and then trim on the neck, you can let this go hog wild. But if you trim it, up and down, it looks good. But right now, I'm starting to fill in the top a little bit because I want a more full beard, like a Sean Connery.
Oh, okay.
If that makes
I like that. The Connery.
Yeah.
A Connery cut.
Yeah. So just so everyone, I'm growing it's gonna be a little bit thicker.
Very nice. Second, he is Jordan the man. Jordan the man. XOB. Jordan, what is up?
Hello.
How's your week, man?
It was good.
Good. How is the world of the internet installations?
They're still happening.
They're still happening.
Yeah.
They're happening strong.
People need internet.
Oh,
so.
Very nice. Now, you had a chance to jump into Sea of Thieves this week. Quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a doozy.
I've actually really enjoyed and utilized the Play Anywhere program this week.
Oh, you played it on the... Now, how is it? Is it functional on the PC versus...
Yeah.
The Xbox, is there a learning curve switching over or anything like that? Did you play with your mouse or did you use a controller on the PC?
So at work, I play with the mouse and keyboard, and then at my house, I just have extra controllers all over the house, so I just plug one in.
Isn't that just the coolest thing that Jordan can say that he plays at work?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because at my work,
it's team building exercises.
People are we're really into gaming, so they ask, like, hey, you want to play Overwatch? This week, I was just like, no, I'm going to go sailing.
Okay, so is Overwatch is the big game at your work?
Yeah, everybody loves Overwatch.
Now, how many people are in the office that play actively?
7.
7 out of 7. Where do you rank?
I don't know.
In Overwatch?
In Overwatch,
I'm gonna say the middle.
Really? You're not the top. That surprises me.
No, I might be at the bottom actually.
No, shut.
No, I might be. Yeah.
In a room with all IT guys.
Yeah, they play as
This is not your average.
This is true. That's true.
I might be at the bottom.
Oh, Jordan, you've got to represent, man.
No, it's tough in there.
And these are all PC, so they're used to mouse and keyboard.
Oh, and are you playing on the mouse and keyboard as well?
Oh yeah. Which I've gotten used to the PC as well.
You've adapted.
Yeah.
You've adapted.
Now, do you prefer it?
Actually, when I came back to the console, I actually turned up my sensitivity
because
I was getting used to the computer.
The speed at which you could look around.
Yes.
All over the place.
You know what we played? We have LAN parties every once in a while where we just kind of all hang out late and play games.
And that's at work, right?
Yeah.
I want to work with you guys.
So we played this game,
but they can't afford me.
One of my boss, he used to play this game. It was called it's the old Wolfenstein games, but it was a multiplayer version of it, and it was such a cool. I mean, it's old graphics, old game, right, stuff like that. But it was so cool because the multiplayer gives you this big map, and there's objectives that each team has to do. So, like for example, objective for my team is to blow up this tank and then move the train up the railroad to deliver the ammunition.
Okay.
Right? So it's really it was like one of the fun. It was like I think it was like Wolfenstein 2 multiplayer from the 90s.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Some of those old games.
Yeah, it was
back
a good time.
multiplayer is a good time.
It was a good time.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to tell you.
Last but not least, I am XoneBros. I don't get to play video games at work. In fact, I don't get to do a
Which
whole
I don't
lot of
know.
fun stuff
I don't
at
know
work,
why. Because
I mean, if I brought my Switch and shut my door,
well, why can't you just do it on your computer?
Well, because it's a school.
Play
computer.
anywhere.
I can't I don't have authorization to download stuff.
Yeah, he can barely watch Mixer.
Yeah, this
Really?
is true.
That's just because they don't know what Mixer is.
They're
yet.
like Mixer is supposed to be a site about
They still
wine.
they still think yeah.
So
They still
wine
think
He's
is
a
it's-
wine connoisseur.
They still think it's called Beam.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Hmm.
if you buy something from Mixer,
Oh,
it comes through your checking account as Beam.
it's Beam.
Yeah.
This is true.
Someone dropped the ball somewhere.
I
Yeah,
hope they
sure.
get fired.
Yeah.
So before
forgot
the show started, we were showing off some of our audio equipment. Mr. McSpicy has the H4 Zoom
H4N.
for H4N Zoom. I have the H1,
Mm-hmm.
and this was in my bag.
My unit is at least I don't know
Double?
triple his
This-
unit.
It's a high quality unit. I think that runs what 250.
It was
Can I record
400
stuff?
when I got it, but I think it's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's 250 because I think this is $49.99 now. This
Okay.
was like
They're good
100.
devices.
Great. Even this one, if you want to record audio, it's on point. But anyways, there's a story. Let me tell you why this is in my bag.
Okay.
I work at a university, at a college.
Yeah. Okay.
I work in a director position there, or an assistant director position there, rather, not the director.
Mm-hmm.
I would never choose that job.
You know
Could not pay
it's
me
just
enough.
it's just like pirates. You want to be the first mate.
You want to be the first mate.
You don't want to be the guy that makes
You
the
can-
decisions.
yeah, because if there's mutiny,
Yeah.
you can leverage yourself.
the thing is-
you can play both sides.
No,
there.
no.
You're
The
the
thing
captain.
is,
There's no play both sides.
I've thought about this. I never want to go higher in my life than second guy.
It's nothing.
Commander
No,
Riker.
no.
There's-
You just want to be Riker.
No,
There's
'cause
nothing
really,
like shooting for that mediocre spot
no,
right there.
you got none of the pressure, and then the captain makes a decision, and everybody's like, "Oh, that sucks." And you're just like, what do you do? We just got to do it. You know,
we
you
do,
like
but I've got to enforce
you got
this.
both sides. Like the captain likes you, the crew likes you. You know.
Well, and
So you're
and
Dwight. Your goal in life is to be Dwight.
Yeah, second in that's the sweet
assistant
spot.
to the regional manager.
You got all this power, but none of the responsibility.
And Riker was a ladies' man. Like I don't know how he dealt with HR. Like every episode, he's going to another lady,
Whether it's an alien lady
He
or a
didn't
human
care.
lady, does not care.
and then he was the ladies' man,
Very
and maybe
nice.
it was the beard.
Anyway, so I have this Zoom. I have it. I put it in my bag because the school newspaper wanted to interview someone from my office about some very sensitive issues. Our school newspaper is notorious for misquoting and trying to make you look bad. So I recorded the entire conversation, and they did, and I let them know, just so you know, I'm recording this. So they did not misquote me. They misquote almost everybody or switch what they say. Nope, not me.
Did
Not
they
me.
like call on their phone? Like, what do we do? He's recording it.
What do we
Yeah,
do?
what's the question?
We're not going to be able to manipulate the.
Whoa, we can't lie about this guy. What do we do? Anyway, so that's where when you have to bring a recorder to work, you know you have a great work environment that you're working on for protection. You know you have a great work environment.
That was a sarcastic comment.
Welcome everybody to the show. If you'd like to support us, if you like to support Positive Gaming, we are your Positive Gaming and Xbox One community. This is a great bunch of people. You can do so over at Patreon. We do a game giveaway every month. We also have been giving away a mug to anybody. So we're doing 2 giveaways, essentially, a Positive Gaming mug. Positive Gaming is just a group of gamers that love gaming, celebrate gaming, that have a positive outlook on life. That is it. We're a good time. Anyways, head over to patreon.com/positive gaming or XoneBros.com and hit the support tab. Mr. McSpicy, let's get down to it. Sea of Thieves is here.
Yeah.
It's out.
It's the big game.
Came out this week.
Rare. It's been hyped. Hype City. We had a couple episodes ago. We talked about, is this hype or is this the real deal? Share a little bit about your experience playing, and then just give us some thoughts. Do you like? Do you not like? And we'll go from there. Go ahead. First of all, how was your playing experience? What did you do? How many times did you get to play, et cetera, et cetera?
I've played it a lot, actually. I played a lot with friends and a lot solo, so I kind of have both sides of that coin. This game is, I think a lot of the criticism of this game is how open it is.
It's a sandbox game.
It's a sandbox. It's entirely up to you to do whatever you want. More so than I think other sandboxes to an extent, you know? And if you're into that kind of thing, it could be a good thing. And if you're not, it could be a bad thing, you know?
It would be a bad thing, yeah.
So I think this game, overall, I think you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I don't think there's a lot of middle ground.
Okay.
Okay, and that I want to say that because I've seen some criticisms that they say it's they're critiquing it's just so open, but that's one of the reasons I personally like the game.
Sure. There was you and I were talking last night while we were playing the game together, and you had mentioned that this game reminds you a lot of Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous, yes.
And I think that's a really good comparison.
Very similar to Elite Dangerous.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Rare actually tweeted Elite Dangerous.
Did they really?
Yeah, they christened the launch of the game. What had happened is they were in the game. I don't know if it was a bug or if they did it on purpose, but they had a sloop. And all of a sudden, the sloop just like launched up into the air super high, and they tweeted at Frontier Games,
the next Frontier.
Yeah, well, they basically said
the final Frontier.
They basically said the only way to launch off a game is to launch a ship into space or something like that.
That's funny.
They tweeted, so just so you know,
they're Elite Dangerous.
They got a good little relationship there.
I like that.
It's extremely similar because Elite Dangerous, it was this vast open space. And you would occasionally see real players, occasionally not. You could go do your own thing. You could do trade routes. You could, you are in a spaceship, which is
you can mine.
Yeah, you could mine. You can become a bounty hunter, which is kind of a lot. I felt like this is a very Elite Dangerous type of game.
Yeah,
and a lot of people love or hate Elite Dangerous for the exact reasons why I think it's a great game.
Yeah.
But so anyways, so to go back to your initial question, I love this game. Okay. I have a lot of stories of this game. I kind of think of it like Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, this is gonna sound weird at first, but there's a lot of like the Dragonlance series. Okay. It's a set of novels, fantasy novels that I really like. Those are based on a Dungeons and Dragons game that the authors had. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of the game is like a backbone, and all these stories just sprout from it.
Naturally evolve. Like, for instance, the story of us getting drunk on a ship, and then what ensued and happened.
Exactly. Yeah. I think this is if you're not used to the concept like the Elite Dangerous concept where you have these things just dynamically, organically is the better word. Organically just happen. Then this game may not be for you. I don't know, but for me, it is so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. Like for example, me and David were playing yesterday. We had a lot of loot on our ship, and a galleon comes, starts shooting at. We were actually. We were parked.
You don't got to tell me twice.
We were parked, and we were in the middle of an epic battle of all these shadow skeletons and gold skeletons. Like, it was an intense battle, and we were on the last boss. It was like a kind of a boss fight, and then we hear cannons, and David, I don't care what you're doing, hop on the ship, grab that anchor, and go. And David went, and we were repairing the ship as we're going. And I just jumped out of the ship because this is a PvP strategy, everybody, and you can do this if you're by yourself. But they're chasing us. I jumped off into the ocean, grabbed onto their ladder, and sat there for a minute while David's trying to get out of there. Because when I jump off or die, I just spawn right back on the boat. Yeah. So I climb. They're going, and they're all four. They're on the cannons, and I climb up. I hit that the anchor. And it just drops and it flings them around. Then I jumped off the side and then got on the ladder again and waited for them to raise that anchor because you can hear it click, 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 click. And then
probably thinking like, this game is bugged.
Yeah, I swear. After the fourth time, they finally caught on to what was going. David, in the meantime,
he was trying to.
Well, no,
I was repairing the ship. I was under deck.
He was under deck repairing
the ship.
And I've done this 2 times by now. And I get back on the deck to slam the thing, and I see David right there. And I'm like, why haven't you left yet?
I ran into a rock.
He ran right into a rock.
Because I wasn't up on ship. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm up there changing, and I can see the guys behind me, and Mark's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? And so I did that. They finally caught on and then shot me off the thing, and I died, but we got away. You know? And you can actually, I've done that solo. You can just set your, cells, due east and just go. And then they're behind you. Just jump off and swim right to them and spam that X button as fast as you can. And then hit that anchor and then do it again.
Yeah.
And then hopefully your ship doesn't crash. But I did better solo when I did that strategy than with David driving the boat.
So it's a good time. Funny. I really like your comparison to Elite Dangerous. Now, for those of you that comparison turns you off because of how in depth. Elite Dangerous is a game where you've got to watch videos in order to play. You don't need to do it. Sea of Thieves is much more user friendly. Initially, there's much less of a learning curve. It's much more obvious what you need to do.
Well, it does a good job of like teaching you without teaching you. You pick up quick.
Yeah, Jordan. Before we get to your thoughts and your experiences with Sea of Thieves, your first impressions, if you will, let's talk about iTunes. iTunes is another way that you can help support the show. Go over there, rate us, review us, subscribe to us on iTunes. It's still the big boy. Feel free, help us out. It helps us out a lot.
Helps us a lot.
Jordan, your Sea of Thieves experience. Now you got to play a lot of solo.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
now, tell me, solo versus multiplayer. Is there a big difference? Is that its weakness?
Well, I mean,
there's a strength.
There's
or does
a
it not
difference.
matter?
Honestly, I think there's a distinct difference between 1, 2, 3, and 4 players. Like you can tell the difference, the amount of players you have, right? I will admit, I do think the funnest is the 3 of us on the galleon. I think that's a good, because the galleon is just, it's much more,
it's meaty.
Yeah,
it's the big boy toy.
Yeah, you see one of those out there and you're like, oh,
you crap your pants out because it's a big ship.
Well, I was actually in a match and there wasn't the first couple days I played, there wasn't much PvP going on except for the one guy that I shot, which was hilarious.
Yeah,
but so I'm just
tell that story. That's okay. Can I tell it or?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
From my perspective and then your perspective.
Yeah, because I see a pirate ship and if I feel like we have even odds, let's go for it.
Just shoot him.
I take
Fire.
the David approach. Just shoot.
No holds barred.
Shoot first, ask questions later. So we see a ship. It's a small sloopy slop.
Yeah.
It's just a little guy, and we're on a galleon. And I actually did that technique too. I shot first. I actually put myself into the cannon and shot I almost landed on him.
That's an achievement. It's a tough one.
Yeah, to land on the ship. So I shot myself up to, of course, board before you guys even got there.
Yeah.
So as I'm doing
I
that,
think you missed.
I missed. I'm not very good at shooting myself out of a cannon. I'll be honest. I'm new to it. So I climb up on the ship and. The guy, the poor guy, he's playing the sad song that they have. It's not a sad song. It's an emotional song.
Yeah.
He's just on top of his ship playing, and I hop on there, and I was going to play with him. And then all of a sudden, he disintegrates. He just disappears. And Jordan shot the cannon. The best bullseye I've ever seen.
No, you recorded it. It tagged him.
It's so funny. Yeah. So I recorded it. It's on my activity feed. If you guys want to laugh your head off, I climb up this boat and I pull out my instrument to start playing, and you shoot him, and he explodes. And I was laughing hard.
It was a good time.
That's a hard shot to.
It's
hard to hit their boat, let alone them playing a song.
That alone is the achievement itself. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Mark and I were playing in a sloop. And Mark had the idea. I was like, "There's a ship, man. What should we do?" And Mark said, "Well, let's go steal his stuff." And I said, "Okay,
this is awesome.
Okay, let's do it." Okay, so I'm sailing, right?
This is a total and Maverick and Goose technique.
What Mark does, or what happened? Anyway, we flew right. We did that thing in Talladega Nights or something where we we did something.
Rubber band.
Yeah,
I want to go fast.
Yeah, we drafted or whatever. Anyway, so we come up alongside. Mark jumps out, and No, so I jump right onto his boat. Yeah, because we came close. That's right. Yeah,
and then you slam the brakes.
Yeah,
you hit the brakes, and I ran and grabbed his chest that he had right there, and it was a nice, pretty one.
Yeah, and we jumped, sparkly,
and
you brought it back.
And I jumped back, and you lifted right as I hit that ladder, and we were gone.
Well, didn't we?
It was a smash and grab job.
Didn't we also drop or lift his anchor because we were going away and his sail was floating and he was running back from the
you hit his brakes and you hit his brakes and then you grab it, and that is, imagine doing that with one person driving and 3 people jumping the ship.
Well, and
grab your stash and go.
What's fun is even if that happened to me, I just feel like I don't get upset, even though sometimes it can be frustrating, but I just feel like it's the pirate's life, man. It's a pirate life.
I know. You gotta pay attention.
It was I got to play solo. It was a lot of fun. The scariest moment I had, or the most stressful, is there wasn't much PvP going on, so I'm just doing quest after quest after quest. Yeah. I'm picking up messages and bottles, and I'm just stacking up my ship. I had 5 skulls, I had 2 chests, and I think I had a goblet that I found. Yeah. Right? So I was pretty good shape.
Goblets are worth $1,000.
Yeah.
Those
so I was in pretty good shape. And then all of a sudden, a galleon starts chasing me, and we circled the map. It was a good 45-minute chase. And what's cool is, so galleons, I think in a straight line they go faster than anybody.
Yeah, they have
because they have 3 sails,
Three
and
sails,
big sails.
yeah.
But the sloop can outmaneuver things, so I just had to weave in and out. We actually went through a storm. That is stressful because during a storm you have to run down, take the bucket out. The waves are huge, and it's just
because you can sink from the rain.
Yeah,
Just rain.
Just sink from the rain. The advantage, I think, in a storm goes to the sloop
because it's more maneuverable
and it's way easier to repair and bail.
Yep.
And so that was smart by you to go right into that.
And
storm.
then finally, the pirate gods helped me out, and there was another galleon, and I was just thinking in my head, okay, let's take them towards this guy and hopefully they'll fight. So I basically sailed by this galleon, and then all of a sudden those 2 ships, you just can see it, like they're just firing and going crazy. It was pirates are flying.
So you took them to the bigger fish,
and then I went to the nearest outpost and I got rid of that stuff. But that, I don't know, that it was just so much fun. Like that alone, like it was 45 minutes of not getting loot and treasure, but it was super fun. Like it was a good time. That game. And the thing is I don't find myself getting bored with the quests. Like I enjoy like going and picking up the next one, doing the next map.
They're getting hard, like the ones. So I'm a rank 19 treasure hunter at this point.
Yeah.
They get hard.
Yeah.
They're getting harder and harder. How they make it hard is instead of giving you northwest, east, south directions, like for the clues, the riddle maps, they're just saying find a mermaid on the island,
and you're just like, oh,
that's hard.
Yeah,
it's getting harder and harder.
Well, last night McSpicy and I spent 35 minutes looking for one chest that we could not find.
Oh yeah, and that was on a map because they put the X's where no distinguishable things are.
Where there's not a landmark feature.
Yeah, and that makes it hard.
What eventually did it was we had to basically
2-man
engineer coordinate it. I went down onto the beach and said, I think it's right about here, up on the cliff, and then
I walked over.
Finally found it.
It was a 2-man coordination.
That's cool.
Crazy.
Well, what's cool is there's different. I've seen people streaming. There's different chests that like cry, like cursed chests that cry and flood your boat. So you gotta like, scoop your boat out while taking the. It's.
Oh really? Because I found a drunk chest.
Oh, there was
a cursed chest.
There's a curse. It was a cursed chest, and what it would do is when you put it on your ship, it cried.
Yeah, so
the water came out. So you had to constantly, sailing back, you had to constantly.
Chests are worth more because of that.
Well, my chest was like $1,300. Yeah. When you pick up, it was like a keg, but it was a chest keg, and when you pick it up, you were completely drunk. So you had to waddle.
That's hilarious.
Over to and when you put it down, you were fine. But when you picked up
that's so funny.
So they have like rare stuff like that. Yeah, all over.
So overall enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun. It hit 48 million. It hit 1 million players in 48 hours.
1 million players in 48 hours. That's
very good.
Like players, they all got to log on.
Yeah.
Because this had a rough. This game had a rough start.
It did. It had a rough start. They came out with a video explaining everything, and they looked tired, man.
That's what I watched that video, and I was like, it was. I get it. This is crunch time. They've had 6 years. This is their launch day, and they're going through all their problems and everything. They're like the top 5 things why people aren't connecting. That guy on the left,
he was like
his eyes all bagged out.
It was so funny. They were like, "Guys, we know." We're trying.
It made me laugh.
I
felt bad for him, but I also it was like funny. It
was interesting to see their statistics because I guess during the beta they had all their numbers that they were prepared for. I guess the initial login was 3 times as much numbers that they had.
Well, that's because of Game Pass.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Game Pass, I'm sure, punch those numbers
and like
up
you
a
said, basically everything lined up perfect, and then it just bombarded the servers.
Let's talk longevity of Sea of Thieves. I played the game. I played it once by myself for a few hours, twice with you guys for a few hours each time. I enjoy both solo and team. I think team is definitely its strength when you're in there with people. Oh, yeah. Solo, things would be a lot harder. Things were a lot harder. But playing solo, I will say, go play solo if you haven't yet. It makes you better.
Makes you a good sailor.
That's where I got good at sailing. That's where, it basically teaches you when you're by yourself because you're forced to do everything on your own. So go and do that. But let's talk longevity real quick. Sir Sivart writes in and says, I'm loving Sea of Thieves so far, but I am worried about the carrot. Is their carrot good enough to keep going? I don't feel I will ever become a better pirate. I will only look better and my ship will look good. But so what? Is this something we need to worry about? How do you feel about the carrot? Let's start with Jordan. So this entire game is cosmetics.
Yeah,
That's what you're going for. You're not going for leveled up armor, leveled up abilities, anything like that. It's all cosmetics. Is that enough of a carrot, Jordan? Thoughts?
I think so. I mean, I think this is. I think so. I mean, I'm trying. Well, there's also the ranking up your factions, right? You know, the initial ranking up your factions, which I guess gets you new cosmetic loot and stuff like that.
But that just
becoming
unlocks
the pirate
more quests. It's not really, that rank is meaningless.
But I think the longevity is there because I think the carrot's fine because I mean, let's be honest, everybody loves something that looks cool, right? Look at the armor in Destiny. Look at the skins in Overwatch. You know what I mean? Everybody digs something that looks cool.
You got some stuff like you got King Trident on the front of your ship.
Yeah. So
you know?
I mean, I definitely
the ship
think
upgrade is definitely the appeal. Since you're a first person, I don't care so much how I look. I care about my ship.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's pirates, so sky's the limit on what they can do, right?
Yeah.
You know. But I think the longevity is there, especially within the quest, because even like Mark said, the quests get harder, right? It's just I think it's a fun. I think the longevity is there. As for becoming a better pirate, I think the longer you play, I mean, you do become a better pirate, right? Think of it. Think of like Halo multiplayer, right?
Okay.
It's an even scale across the board. Everybody loads in and starts with assault rifles, right? The only thing you get in the arena is cosmetic stuff, but the longer you play, the better you get. You know what I mean?
So
you're becoming a better player.
Instead of leveling up your system via an algorithm in game,
and getting like a
level up system is you becoming better.
Yeah, and getting like a +2 sword, plus 1 gun, stuff like that. I like. I mean, that all has its place in other games, but I like that everybody's on an even scale. Like that guy does not have a better gun or sword than me. It's who's a better pirate. You know what I mean? Who's better at the game right now?
McSpicy, the carrot, the cosmetic carrot is what we'll call it.
Right now, I like the game. Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I mean, I would say that that's kind of a criticism that I would agree with. So Jordan's okay with it. I feel. I mean, I go back and forth, but I think of a game like Elite Dangerous. You have to buy your ships, and the ships progressively get better.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that option here. What's driving me in this case is not necessarily the gold and the cosmetics. It's I want to max out my faction.
Okay.
You know, and there's that girl in the tavern,
that
mysterious person that says, you need to get them all up to 5. You need to get them all up to 10.
She's basically, she's kind of a buzzkill. You know what I mean?
Like a cheerleader.
She says come back. Well, really not. So she said, "Come back when I'm 5." I come back, and she goes, "I come back when you're 10."
That's exactly what happened to me.
I was like, "Hey,"
she said the same thing.
Hey, so she's not the coach that's like, "Hey, good job, pal." She's the coach that says, "You score 5 goals." He's like, "Why didn't you score 6?"
That's how she is. And you know what?
6.
That actually motivates me. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of sad at first, but then I'm like,
but she didn't give us anything yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think I don't know. I feel as though getting better sniper rifles or something would have made the grind more enjoyable. I don't know, because there's really no improvement on your equipment.
Yeah, no, everybody's even. It's all cosmetic. I mean, if you see someone with a good-looking sniper, you know they put in the time.
Well, that's what's cool about like the ships, because I saw a ship with a beautiful sail that had a pattern and everything.
And you're like, I'm staying away from him.
Because they know what they're doing. They
that
put
guy
in the time.
dropped almost 100K gold for that thing.
I do feel that they should have put ship upgrades or something, because even though it may not be completely a level playing field when it comes to chases and stuff, you could do those tactics like we talked about earlier. You could figure things out, but I would like to be the guy that has that badass ship.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't think I mean, you can get King Trident and stuff, and that's cool, but there's just something, I don't know. I think they could have done better.
Yeah. So to summarize, Jordan likes the carrot. He doesn't need a progression system because it's skill based. You're increasing your skill while working towards these cosmetics. You don't need that progression system. You're fine with the carrot. McSpicy goes back and forth. You're fine with the carrot for now. You'll see how it plays out in the long term.
Yeah, because I don't know endgame anything yet. That lady may be just an endgame lady where you go into a...
My theory right now, along with the rest of the internet, is she's the pirate legend lady. Like, as soon as you max out, she'll let you in. It's like the VIP room.
Then you go into like this full 20 versus 20 versus 20 server, and everyone's on huge galleons.
It's just completely different.
Well, Battle Royale galleons.
I think the carrot on the stick is going to be that girl. Check this out. David will know this because he's watched a show called Frasier.
Oh, of course.
So what's going to happen is she's going to let us in that door,
the gold door,
and then there's going to be another door, and you're like, hey,
there's going to be a platinum door.
What's in that door? And then that's going to be, and then you're going to keep going. That's how they get you.
And
the doors, man.
The
memberships.
I gotta say the treasure maps are enjoyable. I like doing those. Actually, they're super relaxing. The curses, I think you're going to eventually need friends.
Oh, the one we did last night. There's no way the one we did last night. Well, and that wasn't a curse. It was
that was
curse
a message
like
in a bottle.
That was a message in a bottle. Yeah, which has higher rewards, I would imagine.
Yeah,
because of the difficulty. Because there's no way I could do that by myself.
No, I tried before and I failed. Yeah, hard.
No way. So you're a wait and see. You're torn. You don't mind the cosmetic.
I go back and forth,
but it would be nice to have some progression stuff. I think I'm kind of with Spicy. I'm a hold off and wait and see. I agree with Jordan. I think there is something to be said about having everybody on a level playing field, but having the cosmetics to show I am a badass.
Yeah,
and having those cosmetics makes people stay away from me. Right? It's like I might look big and tough. I'm not really, but I look big and tough. You know? But so I'm back and forth as well. I think it's a wait and see. I really want to learn about and content. Keep in mind with the carrot, they're going to be bringing out events and stuff that you can do. And when you learn your legendary quest lines as well, who knows what those are at this point.
Noticed something this week playing with Mark. The map, it's all the same islands. They're just generated in different locations.
I learned that last night. So,
so I was talking to, I think it was, we were playing. I was thinking maybe future they can give us like a different set. You know what I mean? They can have different island sets, which will kind of refresh in the game.
They have already said
they're
they're going to expand the map. So the edges of the map will grow bigger, which will be really interesting to see.
World of Warcraft.
As it grows bigger, I bet you what you eventually get, you get you don't get better weapons, but you get a variety of weapons.
Yeah.
You get a variety of ships, so it's not just the galleon and the sloop. I bet you there's something else in there.
A minigun.
A minigun.
Pop.
Someone had said this in
empty.
Discord. A sloop with a gun on the back.
Yeah.
So you shoot
that would be
cool. Would be awesome.
I do have one criticism because I've ran into this a couple times.
Okay.
I want them to make the change, and this is just me. So when your ship sinks, you mermaid or comes up or whatever, and you spawn basically kind of on an island with the new ship, right?
Yeah, somewhat nearby, but
not
right nearby.
Yeah, and that's fine. I like that respawn system. So if you die, you actually respawn on it. So like, for example, Mark and I were playing, we were PvPing. One guy killed me. I went to the Ferry of the Damned, and then I respawned back on my ship. Mark was still there. I want it to be if I killed your whole crew, you guys can't spawn back on the ship. You know what I mean? I want there to be like an actual, more of a conquest. Like, hey, yes, we killed all 4 of these people on the galleon. This ship, I mean, we're going to end up sinking it anyway.
This ship is mine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can only respawn if another team member is still alive within the area type of thing.
Do you think they'll ever encourage more PvP stuff? So, for instance, something they could do to encourage that is if you take over a ship that has a cosmetic, you get that cosmetic or something, or you get to choose, or it's randomly generated one of their cosmetics that's on the ship you get to keep.
That would be interesting. That would make more PvP.
It would make more PvP because I was watching the Rare interview with Major Nelson on Xbox this week on Xbox Live, and they said, give me something that you found surprising. And they were watching streams, and the thing that they quoted that they thought was surprising is they saw 2 ships coming along each other, 2 galleons, and they were saying, here we go, this is going to be a battle, and they both just wave emote to each other, and they just sailed off together waving the whole time, and not one person fired a canyon. And they said that was really surprising, and that's true. I mean, you jumped on to when we were playing a galleon with 3 other people, 4 other people, and you just started playing music.
Well, they shot at me.
They started playing with you.
They started shooting their guns at me, so I started doing a tap dance, and that triggered them to all pull out their instruments. And I was like, oh, that saved my life.
So I think there'll be less PvP because there's not really a motive unless you know someone has a ton of loot and the reward is there. But if they give you something, I could see them going that way to push more PvP.
Well, and that's what the thing is with me and Mark. We came up against this guy, and I'm not trying to brag, but we were good. Like, we were killing these guys left and right, and the only reason they won is because they were kept spawning back on their ship. We killed the whole team a couple times.
If you get a team kill, the spawn happens on a island.
The spawn should take you back and give you a new shit. That's why I'm saying, like, that's where I think the PvP might be a little, because it was 2 against 4. We won. The only reason they won is because they kept spawning back, and they eventually just outnumbered.
There's no point in trying to capture a ship. There is a point into doing a flyby and taking all their treasure.
Or if someone's on an island, I like to lift the anchor and drop the sails and just get out.
That's what I do.
That's so funny.
I see a boat on there. I go on the boat, check to see if there's any treasure. Nope. So I lift the anchor and head it right into the distant rocks.
Jordan, there's no benefit to take a ship. You want there to be a benefit to take a ship.
Well, not necessarily a benefit to take the ship, but just something more even. Like me and Mark beat that team. Like we legitimately beat that team, but we
wasted them.
Yeah, when we beat them, we couldn't get over to their ship in time to sink it to where they completely go away because they kept spawning back. I feel like since we beat that crew of 4, like all 4 were dead at the same time, that spawn should be taken away. Because they die, you know.
I think that's a great.
I think you can only spawn back on your ship if another player is within that proximity of the ship. You know,
McSpicy, give me a criticism of Sea of Thieves that you have so far.
Oh well, I mean, like I was saying, I would like to have cooler rifles and cooler ships,
but not just skin wise, like actual progression, like better weapon. You know, like you actually do get a
just like Elite Dangerous. I mean, this game reminds me of Elite Dangerous, and give me. Like, have the ships cost money and have them be really expensive. And then you're like, ooh, that guy's got the X class.
The X class ship.
Oh my gosh, that's the Enterprise. You know, the USS Enterprise.
Let's talk about quests real quick. Gregory Boehm writes in and asks, when I'm playing Sea of Thieves, I can't help but think that almost everything in the game is a giant fetch quest. I love the game so far, but what kinds of things would you like to see brought into the game, such as different style voyages, events, more customization, etc.? And I think that's a fair point that he makes. It is very go and kill and get and bring back.
Yeah.
How could they mix that up? What more do you want to see, Mr. McSpicy? Go.
I want to see a different game mode. Also, here's a minor critique. Don't make me watch the cutscene every time I load the game.
Oh yeah, and I always forget to hit B. Why not A? Why is it B that you?
That's
have to
a criticism. Just I watch it once, it's done. If I want to go back, I'll go into the settings and watch it again. Okay. Have a different game mode, and I really think a 10 galleon person, 10 galleon person, 10 galleon person, like a 5 galleon death match with 10 people on each boat would be amazing.
Amazeballs.
That would be, and have them be like a 4 mast galleon, just big boats, and just have them just go at it, winner take all.
What about a team deathmatch on an island? Just pirate versus pirate. Versus pirate on an island.
Versus pirate.
I mean, team deathmatch is always fun. I would say the fighting with the sword and the gun are kind of they're not
built for player versus player.
They're not built for that. It's kind of slug. If you compare it to other games, it's sluggish. It's you press buttons and it accidentally stabs.
The lunging stab can be frustrating sometimes.
And when I'm switching items, it's a delay, and then it chooses the wrong item. So that kind of, it's definitely not meant for quick switching on weapons and stuff like that.
Madshot says janky. I agree. That's a really good way to describe it.
Yeah, perfect. It's janky. So having a team deathmatch like that, I don't know if it would be as popular because the game is not built that way.
Okay.
But ship to ship, I think it is.
Sure.
I think it would be super awesome to have 10 or 5 huge ships with 10 people on each, or 6 people on each.
Events, different quests, anything like that. Any ideas, Jordan? Anything you'd like to see?
Well, I mean, honestly, with pirates, you're not really restricted. Yeah. I mean, we talked about the Division a while ago, saying how you feel like they're kind of restricted. I mean, with pirates, you can just make up some mythical sea legend,
the Kraken.
Yeah. The Ferry of the Damned. I mean, you're a ghost ship, right? I mean, you really had sky's the limit. I feel like. I think adding
Jack Sparrow.
I think adding. I mean, I don't want to say too much because I mean, I'm not quite as high as you on some of the quests, and they are getting harder and more difficult, which I like. And I can only imagine like the level 20, 30, 40 feet. You know what I mean?
Even level 19 has taken me. I've done 5 full-fledged. Yeah, it's turning grindy at level 19.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I think they can add new quests like that to give you more variety. But even they can add a new faction, which maybe some
a PvP faction,
a PvP faction, or just anything like that. I mean,
an event where everybody in the server a bounty event where everybody in the server hunts this crew, or this pirate.
And the thing is, they have the Skull Islands which come up, which are difficult tasks, by the way, very difficult. They can have different events like I don't know. The Merchant Guild found 1 million chickens. Go get as many as you can, and I mean, they can just have different world events that go on.
Sure.
In addition,
now, what do we
to the
think?
Skull.
Diesel in chat says ship battle royale. Do we think a battle royale mode is coming to Sea of Thieves?
That would actually be awesome.
Crazy fun.
That would be great. And you have to.
And the circle can be it can literally be a storm, like in Fortnite.
And you have to jump onto an island to loot for weapons and stuff. And so it's still
for cannonballs. Yeah, because you got to
in.
get cannonballs.
Well, oh man, yeah, you have to loot the cannonballs.
Yeah.
It could be done, and it could be
supplies.
done well.
That would be fun.
A battle royale. Pirate.
Is it coming? You think
maybe?
I think that's the new mode. I think it's gonna be in every game.
Speaking of like, is stuff coming? Rare has been really, I feel like, really transparent.
So that
this
is
week,
this week. I mean, I think they're trying to bring stuff out. One of the criticisms that I think is fair is they've just said stuff is coming. I think it's smart for these types of game like a Destiny does or Division 2, but they don't do it till later. When you release, issue a roadmap. And say this is what's coming. Then this is what's
Destiny
coming. Destiny
tried that. Remember, they said it was a 10-year plan.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean,
10-year roadmap.
I mean, like for instance, Destiny 2. How long ago? Just a few weeks ago.
Just
or
a few months ago. They had, or a month, whatever.
They
released
their roadmap with specific content releases. That I think is smarter to do up front. I know why you don't do it. So, and maybe Rare is going to do it eventually. Just
they've talked about having they're gonna have post game content. They're gonna support the game post launch and stuff like that. But
here's an event for you that I'd like to see.
Yeah.
And Evolve. Is it Evolve? The game Evolve?
So one person's the Kraken.
One person's the Kraken. Everybody else has to hunt the Kraken.
That's a good idea.
Have you guys ran into the Kraken yet?
No, I have not. Yet.
I've seen a streamer run into the Kraken. It's scary.
Yeah,
the water goes black, doesn't it? That's how you know it's like
like
it grabs your ship. And you're just like, oh.
Well, does that happen
and it's
to
like, it's
one
like,
person?
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. The tentacles just cut.
If that happens to me, I'd be like, I don't know what to do. I'm all by myself.
See you later.
Jump off and swim away. Yeah, there's.
They eat you.
I know. Holy cow.
So to wrap up our Sea of Thieves discussion amongst ourselves here, recommend the game. This will be twofold. Recommend the game, $60 purchase or Game Pass. Worth it for both of them? Is there a preference there? Mr. McSpicy, can you recommend the game? Is this a must-buy or is it a wait and see? You have not played it long enough. Where do you stand?
Yeah, so this is definitely a make or break. So I would do your research first. Watch, and it's. I would say for me, it's an absolutely riot. It's so much fun, especially with friends. Friends add a different level to how. I mean, it's a role-playing game. It's a pirate simulator almost, and who hasn't dressed up as a pirate at least once in their life? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. Everybody wants to be a pirate.
I just did that last night with... Oh, never mind.
Okay. No, so anyways, I totally... I recommend this game if it's your style of game. So look at it, watch streamers. As far as $60... I don't know about $60, but Game Pass, I think it's an absolute Game Pass purchase. This game will get Game Pass sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what is it, $10 a month, right, for Game Pass?
$10 a month.
$10 a month, and you get this game plus
everything else.
300 others.
Jordan,
so I think Game Pass is an absolute buy.
Jordan, how about you? Must buy, and at $60 for Game Pass.
For me, I think this game's phenomenal. I mean, I really like Rare. I mean, it was a rough launch, but I mean, they had a lot of players. But I like that they came out, they told us what's going on,
and they looked exhausted.
They looked, and you see that, and you're like, you know what, you're working hard. All right, I get it.
The guy was like, okay, here's the deal.
He can like barely stand.
When that clock hits London and the East Coast at the same time, people don't keep pressing A. It's like that's what's killing us. Everyone's pressing A over and that guy made me laugh.
I mean, it was a rocky launch, but I mean, I think they fixed it as quick as they could. It's running well now. They're doing great. I think Rare's a good developer. I like this game. I think it's worth the $60 if you don't have Game Pass. But obviously, if you want to buy the game, I would say buy it through Game Pass because that's like saying I can buy this for $60 or I can buy it for $10.
Yeah, Ronan.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, Ronan in chat shares that feeling. He says it's well worth $60 in his opinion, but there's no point to buy it for $60 on Game Pass. Wolverine is more along the lines of Mr. McSpicy. This is a Game Pass game. If it were $30 or less, then he would pick it up.
Okay.
Outside of Game Pass, myself, I think I'm going to recommend that you wait. If you're on the fence at this point, I would wait a week or two. I have to give it a week or two to decide, is it a long-term am I in for the long haul with this game? I'm just not far enough. I don't think any of us really are far enough to ultimately determine, did they do a good job? Is there enough content there? It's just unknown. We don't know anything. I mean, nobody's really gotten that far and made big.
Can I say my favorite part of the game?
Sure, absolutely.
Ringing that bell.
You ring it a lot.
I ring that
That's
bell.
how I know when we're leaving.
I cannot wait till it's lunchtime because I want to ring that bell on the ship.
I personally like it, but if you're on the fence, I would wait maybe at this point. Wait another week. In a week when everybody's progressed more, you'll know more if this game is for you or not. Yeah. So there you go. We have a new feature. And that new feature is called the Community Review. Now, what we do here is on Discord. We have a Discord channel with almost 1,000 people there. We put up a poll. We're going to do this for all new games that asks the community to grade the latest game that's out, A through F. Give us one criticism and one thing that you like about the game. And so we have done that over on Discord for Sea of Thieves. If you want to be a part of the community, if you want to talk about games, join us on Discord. Make x1bros.com/Discord will get you there, or just go to x1bros.com and click on the Discord button. It'll get you there. We're talking about games 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and now you have this feature where you can let your opinion be heard, vote, and have a say. So the community review for Sea of Thieves on an A through F scale. If you guys are wondering, let's treat this. We're the IMDb for the X1 Bros community. This is the IMDb.
Yeah.
On an IMDb, anything over around a 7. Usually I like by the users, not by critics is another thing, but by the users.
Yeah.
I normally like that. So we decided to do A through F because everybody understands. A is awesome, C is average, F it sucks.
Yeah,
sucks.
Think of it like a school grade.
Well, that's the school grades.
Yeah. Isn't that actually what?
Yeah,
I think that
here?
is.
We're grading the game.
Yeah,
we're grading the game. So the community has graded the game. 40% of the community gave it an A. 31% gave it a B. 22% gave it a C, and less than 5% gave it a D. Nobody gave it an F.
So what's the aggregate?
So the aggregate is a B+.
Okay, cool.
The aggregate community here gave it a B+ over.
I feel like that's good.
That's
over 70.
No, I mean, I feel like that's accurate.
Over 70% gave it a B or higher, and the highest grade, the majority gave it an A. So there you go. From the community,
I gave it an A.
I did too, actually. I really like this
mostly
game.
Because this is the only game, and I promise this is the last thing I'll say about it, where I Jack Sparrowed it.
You Jack Sparrowed it like it was 1999.
Yeah. So I
that's the worst pirate I've ever seen.
No. Very.
So it would seem.
Very first Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow sails in, his boat sinks. I did that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought, well, because I was getting off one night, and I was like, you know what, I'm in the middle of the ocean, I might as well sink my boat. So I went down, and I blew up I had gunpowder that I found on an island. I blew it up, and I sunk the boat. And I was like, I tried to get a screenshot, but it was hard. But I ran up to the thing, and I tried to stand up there as it was sinking.
Oh, that makes my day.
The only
That's
game
amazing.
where I've ever Jack Sparrowed it.
So I want to highlight some common community criticisms. We'll just roll through here real quick. So the community that gave Sea of Thieves a B+ overall. The community criticism, some common ones, that it's repetitive.
Okay.
Not being able to see your friends once they run away. I think that's actually a legitimate one. It'd be nice to have like something that Skyrim does where there's at least a dot somewhere up on a compass, or maybe on your compass when you pull it out, or on your map.
I like the dot on the compass above. I think that
being able to see your friends, I think that's a good one. For now, here's one. For now, the quest loop is repetitive, which is great for a 2-hour run, but I feel like I'm wasting other game opportunities if I play any longer than that. No stat-based gear or class-based character system, similar to McSpicy's criticism there, and more variety in quests and side activities. There was a lot more than that. These are just ones. These are some common ones that I found. Now, some common positive things, some common things that people really liked about the word freedom came up a lot. The most used word easily. Freedom to explore. How easy it is to play and talk with complete strangers. This is something, it's in-game chat.
Proximity chat.
It's proximity chat, and it works fantastic, actually. And I've really enjoyed. In fact, that's how I knew when people were friendly and not. I could hear them. Let's get this guy. Hey, where's this guy? Was it on an island? Hey, let's get him. I don't see him. Where's he at? Let's get him. Let's take his ship. Okay, I'm just going to sit here in the trees and hide.
Wait, you didn't go. You just sat there and hid?
I sat there and hid, yeah.
No wonder your ships were sinking.
Eventually.
Go fight back.
Eventually I did.
Jump on their ship,
then I
lift
died.
the anchor, and send it out.
Unlike any other gaming experience, is something that's positive. Someone that the community has said positive play that came up quite a few times. Agreed. It is unlike anything the idea is it's sandbox, but it's not even like a typical sandbox. It's a completely unique experience. I completely agree.
I would
with
agree. Yeah.
The stories that come out of it is one of the thing, and the graphics look great. The graphics are amazing. Now you say when you look at this, wait, it's just like a cartoon. The water,
the
sunset
water,
the rain,
even when you jump in the water,
the weather effects. This game is gorgeous. The water physics alone.
When there's no clouds in the sky and it's nighttime, and you see that crescent moon and how it reflects off of the ocean. Oh my gosh! I have to pull out my hurdy-gurdy.
They have a North Star.
They have a North Star. Yeah, it's pretty.
And there you go. That's the XoneBros community review, a B+ overall. We are actually going to be housing these community reviews permanent on the website somewhere for almost every game that comes out. We'll have them somewhere.
And they're dynamic, right?
They're dynamic. So as they update, they will change. So you'll get the most recent. As things change, people can go back and leave reviews. Just think it's a great way for the community. If you want to jump in again and be part of these reviews, and you want to be part of the community in a deeper way and get to know people, Discord is where it's at, XoneBros.com. Hit that Discord button or XoneBros.com/Discord, and you can go from there. With that, let's get this show on the road. Jordan, tell me, what is happening in the world of Xbox One this week?
There's a few stories that I enjoyed.
The one particularly about the
there's a couple of them I thought were pretty cool.
that
So
new
of course,
game Cyberpunk made the news.
oh
this
yeah,
week.
yeah, definitely. So actually, a bigger news story than Cyberpunk. Check this
Sorry,
out. Check this out. Check this out right
didn't
here.
need to jump it for
Let me get to my news tab here. There we go. It's David's birthday.
Oh
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, actually,
tomorrow, right?
Can I
Tomorrow's
tell you
your
what I
birthday,
did for my
right? Yeah.
birthday? So
You dressed up as a
Wait,
pirate.
hold
You
on,
told
Jim.
us already.
Is it tomorrow?
tomorrow's my
Okay,
birthday.
that's okay.
Yes. So I went and got, I treated myself. I went and got a haircut.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
went with
You look good.
to Barber Blake in
Yeah,
the community. He's a barber. That's why his gamer tag is Barber Blake.
Yeah, yeah.
Got my haircut, looking spiffy. Then we went to a barbecue place. He just said,
Yeah.
"Let's go." Shut down the shop, kind of. He just left one man there,
Yeah.
and we went and got some barbecue. It's a good time.
That's awesome.
That's where I'm at in my life. I get a haircut and some barbecue
With your
for my
barber.
birthday with my barber. With my barber.
Yeah.
We talk
So
about life.
So David's birthday tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
which is very cool.
Yes.
So happy birthday
you. Thank you very much.
from me and Mark. Me and Mark got you something.
We did.
It's probably one of the coolest things we've ever bought in our lives. It's actually not here.
Oh.
It's coming like a couple weeks later.
Yeah,
Oh,
next
okay.
week you'll get it.
Hopefully next
But
week, but
we-
it may be 2 weeks
yeah,
from now.
yeah. We didn't want you to think we forgot about you, so we did get you something,
Okay.
just like a placeholder.
Okay.
We got you a giant candy
Oh
bar.
yes, thank you. Thank you.
Giant. So
Yeah,
it's actually
that's
it's a
why we
really
got
big
it.
one. It's thick.
It's a giant
So,
candy
So,
bar.
can, you
we
tell me,
got you-
can you tell me what it is?
No,
Or-
no, because
No,
we
we
want
wanted
it
to
to
be
be live. It is so good.
You're
Did
gonna
you?
love
That
it.
you're-
I feel like this is when you forget your anniversary.
No, no.
You're like, hey, I got you something, honey, and the damn
ordered
florist is just not here.
We
Your
ordered this-
wife texted me this morning. We're like, oh shoot. No.
We ordered this like a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
and
no, it's just
still hasn't even shipped yet.
it's being custom made in South China. Or, it's legit, and you're really gonna. And we want it to be a live reaction, so it's coming. But
Okay.
we had to get you a placeholder. So
There's
to
your
be,
candy bar.
to be continued
Thank you.
in a week.
I
or-
hope cross your
yeah,
fingers a week.
or-
We don't know.
We're
Now I'm
we're-
excited.
Yeah, so it's
it
super
mi-
good. You'll like it. So,
might
but
be 2
anyway,
weeks.
What if I'm
Yeah.
like disappointed now?
Well,
No,
then it'd
I
be even
built-
funnier.
built this up.
Because we love it. Then just give it to me.
And you're like, here you go.
Yeah,
And I'm just
'cause
like,
it's seriously.
oh, that's
and
cool,
actually,
guys.
you know what? This is actually, if you think about it, this is actually your fault.
Okay.
Because
Why
let me
is
let me
that
tell
my
you, this.
fault?
The original idea was to get you a bidet
Oh,
to
yeah,
bring you
that's
as
right.
part of this club.
Oh.
But then you bought your own, so we had to really think. We got to get him something good because what's gonna top a bidet?
We think this may do the job.
Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing tops
This will
that.
come close.
This will do it.
Let
this,
me.
this will do.
Now
this will
you
do
understand
it.
the criticism that my wife has to me about gifts. She says I'm the hardest person to buy for, and I always ask why, because I'm always like, I want that, I want that, I want that, and she says yes, but then you just go buy it for yourself. So
Yeah.
it is hard.
But anyway, yeah, we didn't forget about you. We got you something. It'll be here soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
So,
Cross
but
your
anyway,
fingers.
It
yeah.
hasn't
In
even shipped yet.
the meantime, that's your placeholder
thank you.
gift. So in a week or maybe 2,
Thank you very
You
much.
will
Thank
have
you,
your gift.
everybody
So
in
happy
chat
birthday.
for the happy birthday
So-
wishes. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
bringing it back to the news.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077. Will you be alive in 2077? Will I be alive in 2077?
Maybe I hope to be.
Do you think this game will come out in 2077?
No, it'll be after.
It'll be like Back to the Future, and whoever is continuing on with the X1Bros, maybe our children,
so anyway,
or our grandchildren, will talk about.
Yeah.
Hey, what came through from Cyberpunk 2077?
So, I mean, not much details again. They had their earnings call or whatever you want to call it. The game director came out and just answered a couple questions. He basically said this is an immense story-driven player RPG. So I mean, basically what The Witcher was. It's a focused single player. He talked about pay model. You're going to pay for it once, and then it's yours. He said there will be no microtransactions. So very similar model to The Witcher, right? And very similar, player-driven story stuff like that. Now, what's interesting is he was probed for different, like, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? And he kept very quiet, very calm, very cool.
Yeah.
And they kind of tried to probe for multiplayer, and he all he said was, we never rule out bringing online features into our future games, and that's all he said. Now I highly doubt it. I don't think so. If anything, maybe like a leaderboard on who did the biggest quest. You know what I mean? But I highly doubt it. But it's just kind of cool that they think about things, and they do have a multiplayer game, Gwent. So they're in the multiplayer field.
They did that one.
Yeah,
it was already built already, kind of.
Cyberpunk 2077. I'm really excited for that game.
Honestly,
just to
any
see
game
what
from
CD Projekt Red does with a futuristic shooter in which there's cross story with Witcher 3. Apparently,
Siri.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so exciting. So I just have to stop the news here for a second. They're discussing the bidet. There's a bidet discussion that has taken place.
Let
me tell you, it's changed my life. Changed my life. I look forward to the bathroom now. I mean, I looked forward to it before, but sometimes it was a little messy, sometimes a little rough. It just you never knew. You never knew what you were getting each time you went. Now every single time I know it's going to be a good time.
You're getting a good cleanup.
It's so good. It's refreshing.
One of the concerns
it's the junior mint of the bathroom.
When I'm going around town talking about my bidet, one of the concerns is it's going to be so cold. It's not ice water.
It's refreshing.
It feels fantastic.
The first couple times it gives you a little zing.
Yeah.
But when you get used to it, it just becomes it's second nature.
I can't go back.
I will link the bidet that we purchased in this episode, so you guys could check it out. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Highly
very
recommend
good.
It.
Very good.
Okay, moving on. Sorry.
Does it come with a supercharger? It feels like it the first time you take it for a spin.
So we talked about the Overwatch character that was announced a few weeks ago.
Yes, she is officially here. Her name is Brigetti.
I just call her Bridget.
Yeah, I'm going to call her Bridget too, because
I call her Baggett.
Baggins. Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins.
So she has. I actually got a chance to play with her this week.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
At work, we play a little Overwatch.
Now, how did you like playing with her?
She's fun. She's different. I think she's a little overpowered.
Oh, really?
That's what they tend to do.
I feel like that's what they do because they, I feel like she's beefy.
Yeah.
Because I was soldier, and I wrecked her, and she would not. I'm not saying die. I'm good, but I had the jump on. I destroyed her, and she didn't die. Yeah. And she went down and then up and then down and then shield, and she just would not die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was rough, and she had no healer. It was just me and her.
Oh,
she was rough.
Well, because when she does damage, she heals herself, right?
Yeah. So it's anyway,
and Soldier with her shield, Soldier's kind of a mid-range, long range ish. I can see that being a problem.
Well, maybe I just played the wrong character, which I probably did, but I put out a good amount of damage.
But what would be a good character against her?
I think tanks like a Roadhog or something like that to bring her in close.
Now, can we review?
But she can stun. If I pull her in, she can stun me right after.
As a Roadhog, you can just pull her in again.
Guys, can we review real quick before we continue with this discussion? For those who are listening that don't know this character yet and don't know her abilities, can you explain it real quick? Her class, everything. Let's have Mr. Spicy
go ahead.
Okay. Basically think of a paladin. That's what she's she looks like a paladin. She has a shield she can pop up. It's a small shield. It's not nearly anything like Reinhardt's shield. It's a personal shield. She's got a mace that extends. It's like a flippity-floppity mace.
So it gives her a little bit of range, which is nice.
It's go-go gadget mace kind of a thing. Doop, boop, boop. As she does damage, she heals herself. Her ultimate is an armor-based ultimate. Think of it like a Lucio, where Lucio gives everyone an overshield for a limited amount of time. This is similar in the fact it gives everyone a shield, armor for a limited amount of, but it's permanent. It stays on you, right? Yeah, the armor stays.
As long as you're within that circle.
So she's kind of like a range Templar. Like she's a buffer for your own team. If you stay in the same centralized area, it'll be fine. She has a shield bash, which it's a stun, so you can stop like a Reaper's ultimate and stuff like that. You know. Yes.
Sorry, what's nice about her shield bash is it's a distance bash. She dashes to bash you. So I mean, you can close a gap. Which is actually really nice for her, you know.
As she does damage, she heals people around her too, right? Isn't it like an aura based?
So
I don't know. Herself? I know she throws out armor to people.
So she is
she's a hybrid
support character.
She's a hybrid tank support.
Yeah. Wow. A defensive support character.
Yeah.
And she is in the support class.
No, so you feel that she literally is the ultimate support character at this point because she's OP'd.
Well, I've only played as her once just to kind of get her abilities and stuff, and then I've played against her, of course, a bunch of times. Because when a new character comes out, you're always guaranteed to play on her.
Mad Shot tells me it's a flail. Yeah, okay. It's not a go-go gadget mace. I guess you can consider it a flail, but it extends though. So
and the animation on it's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's flippity floppity, but then it comes back. It comes back to the spear, the staff part. So.
I feel like she's overpowered, but that's probably just because I don't know how to play against her yet. I felt the same way against Moria. I felt like she was overpowered for a while.
Okay.
I still don't know how to play against Moria.
But if you get a good Moira, she's tough.
I don't know. Maybe a Tracer can take her on because she's quick.
No, she
actually counters Tracer.
She hard counters Tracer.
Doesn't she counter a Bastion too?
So did they announce who specifically counters her?
They never say that.
They don't say that, and they don't really say who she counters either. They just let you
figure it out, and then like remember how
they give you suggestions.
They have some characters that come out and they just say you're playing it wrong. Figure out how to counter that.
Just like when the game launched and everybody was complaining Bastion's OP, and they're like, well, don't stand in front of him.
Yeah, that's really.
and then you're just
figure it out,
and you're like, oh.
Yeah. So cool character.
Yeah, she's really cool. I honestly, and I think
so.
She's
playing against her,
she's one of the better ones.
Playing against her, she felt OP. Playing as her, did you feel dominant?
Yeah, and that's why I think she's OP, because when I don't know how to play as her and I'm just wrecking people
with your flippity floppity,
and I'm just clicking buttons at this point. You know what I mean? I'm pulling up a shield every now and then. I did the shield bash and stuff. And
well, she's got like an ability that goes and it like extends really far.
So,
flail.
And again, maybe it's other people. Maybe it's other people not knowing how to play against her as well. But yeah, I just. And I'm not saying that she is overpowered. I just felt like she was, because I was getting wrecked by her, and then when I was her, I was wrecking, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, it's because she's overpowered.
Yeah.
They tend to overpower their characters
to get them
to dial them back.
Yeah. And then they bring him in a little bit.
Yeah.
A new game released this week, same time as Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
This is one that looks like a unique game experience, just like a unique game experience as well as Sea of Thieves was. Not at all in the same way, but a way out. Has released
from the same developer that did a Tale of Two Brothers,
which was
the
game.
twin stick game. This game, I'm sure everybody knows it, but if you haven't heard of it, it's a game. I don't think you have to play cooperatively. No, I think there was a single player mode where you do control. Was there?
No,
I don't know.
It's co-op only.
Tale of Two Brothers. Well, Tale of Two Brothers.
You use the stick,
and so when you buy this game, it gives you a token so someone else can have the game as well, because it's only co-op.
Oh yeah, they don't actually own the game, but they can play with you.
They can play with you.
Okay, yeah. So what happens is basically there's a split screen down the middle. It's split screen, literally. So one person controls character A, another person controls character B. You guys are doing two different things, like different screens, different events, but it all kind of it's within the same world, the same level. So you're helping each other doing different is that a good way? I mean, how would you explain this game? It's very unique.
It's co-op. You have to play co-op.
Yeah.
It's super story based. I've watched lots of gameplay of this. I've watched lots of reviews, which are highly positive at the moment. It looks amazing. It really does look like it looks like a unique experience. I'm going to get this game to play with my wife based off of what I've seen so far. Looks like a good time. And what I like is that it's trying something new. And is it gimmicky? I don't know. We'll see when I play it. Stay tuned. We're going to be putting up a community review. Another reason to be in Discord this week. We're going to put up a community review for this game, and next week
it's called A Way Out. Check it out. It looks it's super unique and interesting, to say the least. So
yes.
Well, A Tale of Two Brothers was
very good.
Very good. That was Total Biscuit's Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Tele2 Brothers, which
And I like Total Biscuit.
And I like Total Biscuit too. I did not even know about it until I heard him.
Well, and I think these guys
was emotional.
Yeah, I know.
I think these guys are geniuses, the developers here. I mean, with the Tele2 Brothers, it was another new concept in that you controlled 2 guys with each of the sticks.
Yeah.
And it worked well. I played it on Steam.
And it was emotional.
And it's an emotional game. It's a tale of 2 brothers, the bond of brothers.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein's got some big news. I
Wolfenstein
love this
2,
game.
DLC, The Deeds of Captain Wilkins. This one takes you to Alaska. To guess what you're gonna do in Alaska?
Gonna go skiing?
Maybe.
There's gotta be a skiing.
If
scene.
they're skiing, it's somehow your skiing will destroy Nazis because that's what you're doing in Alaska. I don't know if they're skiing. I doubt that there is, but I know there's some dual wield Nazi killing going on.
Yeah. Down
there in Alaska. The premise of this one is you're off to destroy probably the most dangerous weapon you've ever heard of. I think they called it the sun gun. I don't know what it does, but it doesn't sound good. And the Nazis have
probably
it.
like the Death Star.
Yeah,
Maybe
the Nazis got it,
though.
and we got to take it away from them.
Yeah.
And that's basically the premise, and it looks awesome.
Wolfenstein. I haven't played any of the DLCs.
I think this is the third one out of the ones that are coming out, but it's out now.
Absolutely.
Monster Hunter.
Oh, this
also
monster,
had a download.
They've got a big monster.
I don't know how to pronounce this. The
Devilho.
Devilho.
The Devilho. Deviljo.
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 What's a Deviljo?
Anyway, new monster.
Let's call it the Devil.
The
devil.
The Devil's
The
here.
new monster in Now this is a free update. Yeah. So the new monster in Monster Hunter.
Deviljo. With a J.
It's a big bad. It's a big bad boy.
Dude,
now this is not
like
a new monster to the series. It was in previous games, but they're bringing it to Monster Hunter World. It's scary.
So I'd never played the other series. I played it briefly on the 3DS, but not enough to even know about any of these things. This looks like a mutant T-Rex.
It is. I think that was the inspiration.
The best. Have you seen the picture? Have you seen the picture of this?
I'm
Big
looking
Spicy?
at the picture right now.
So the best comment I got, well, we were talking about it in stream the other day, and I think Free Radical said, he's mouthy. And he has like a million fangs just coming down his mouth.
He's not afraid to eat the other monsters.
Oh, so cool. Monster Hunter.
So with this,
there's a good game.
With this, we of course get new gear because of him. You got your high end, your new armor and stuff like that. And there's a few other changes they made with some classes and stuff like that. But very cool update. Be sure to check it out. Epic Games. These are the people that made Gears of War, of course. The original 3 or 4 or whatever. 3 plus the one that they just made. Not the one that they just made, but the random offshoot that they made.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's a great explanation.
Judgment.
Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, Epic. We know Epic.
Yeah, anyway, they make Fortnite.
Yes.
A game you might have heard of.
You might have heard of because it is the big deal right now.
It's a big deal.
They said, Epic came out and said.
Yeah, this is the head of Epic Games. He came out and basically said he feels like the barrier between PlayStation and Xbox is going to be coming down soon.
Yeah. I don't know how soon. I think it's inevitable that eventually it does. And the only reason that I think even though Sony's on top, so they're not forced to go there, over time with consistent games that you're able to play everywhere else except the PlayStation together with your friends, you alienate the PlayStation. So for instance, being able to play Minecraft on every other device, including your phone and your tablet and your Switch
with
and
one
your PC
profile
and your Xbox with one profile, with anybody on any of those things except your PlayStation, that doesn't hurt them now. But over time, I mean, every 5-year-old on the planet plays Minecraft. Over time, hey, Billy, coming over. Oh, we're playing. Check out this world. Oh, can I join? Oh, sorry, you have a PlayStation. You know, over time, stuff like that hurts it. Fortnite, being able to play cross-play with other ones except PlayStation holding them back from making that happen. Over time will alienate it. Now I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
Yeah,
but it's going to be really interesting.
Cross-play and cross-platform is coming to Fortnite for Xbox and PC and stuff. So I mean that's coming in the future here. So it has been announced. But
it's actually can't PC players play right now or with Xbox players? Am I crazy?
No, it's with PlayStation. PlayStation can go to PC.
Is it PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
I think PlayStation can. I don't know if they can cross play, but I know they can cross save. So like you can play on your PlayStation, then you can go to your Epic account.
No, he's talking about cross-play.
I'm talking about
cross-play.
I believe you can
not on the Xbox, not right now.
I believe the Xbox players can play with PC,
not right
but
now.
PC can't go there. Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive. I'll Google it, but I'm pretty positive
I
because they
swear-
announced it.
Let's spicy Google it while we continue with the
Because I swear I've seen streamers play on a PC world
They
with
announced
an Xbox.
Oh, that's cool.
they
Unless
announced
I was seeing some.
they
I'm on
announced
crack.
it, but I don't know if it's been. I don't think it's been released yet. But yeah, so I'm not so concerned about the cross play, like the Xbox playing with the PC or the phone playing with the Xbox, stuff like that. And this week has been a huge example of that. I'm more interested in taking my game anywhere I go. The cross save, right? The one thing I love
right. I was right. You can right now.
Yeah, I thought I
Right now?
I thought
Right
I heard
now.
What does it
something
say?
like
This is a guide. I'm reading a guide on how to do it. Do you want?
Yeah, no, I would like you to read it because
Because you can't believe that you're
well,
wrong.
no, because when they announced it, they said it was a few months off, and this was only
Well,
a couple weeks
here's
ago.
Here's the thing. It might have been out for like founders, people, or something. Certain streamers maybe were able to do it at first, but
Wait, you're just reading the
awkward
headlines?
silence.
Are you actually
This
reading
is-
the
Jordan,
like what they say?
hey,
Focus.
Okay.
I just wanted to
continue with your
before
thought.
I figure it out.
You're not as concerned with crossplay. You want cross saves.
Yeah, because I think, like, for example, the one thing that bothers, I have Overwatch on the Xbox and the PC. The one thing that bothers me the most about it is I have to start over on both. You know what I mean? I have to re-rank up. That's what I love about Sea of Thieves. I love playing at my house, and then the next day I go to work, I take a lunch break, I continue right where I left off. You know what I mean? I think that's a better model because when you get into cross, I mean, I'm not against cross playing with each other. Like, I mean, if you have a game on the PC and I have it on the Xbox, we can play with each other. That's awesome, right? I love that. But I think there's a good handful of games where that just won't work in the realm of being fair. And I honestly actually think Fortnite's one of those games.
Yeah, that's why you can only go one direction. And I'm not talking about the band. You can only go like Xbox to PC. I believe right now. But here you go. Here, this is how you do it. I don't have right here. You got to go through your Epic Games. You got to create an Epic Games account on their site, and then you link them, and then you become friends with them on there, and then you can. So it's possible.
It's possible.
Oh,
so I was right. And you're so mad at you're
well,
so
no,
mad
no,
at that.
I just
You're so mad.
I'm just
Okay.
confused.
Well, can't you go? It's crossplay with mobile. Correct?
Yeah, mobile you can. Yeah, you can tell when a mobile player is playing. They're like in La La Land. They're like looking up at the
I'm
sky.
trying to figure out my touchscreen
And
is
they're
broken.
looking down at the ground, and you can seriously just walk up to them and wave and do a dance, and they can't shoot you. It's fascinating. I mean, it's great that they're doing the mobile version. I don't know. In what world can you have a mobile player compete against a mouse and keyboard?
Well, so you have the only way that you could. Well, okay. With mouse and keyboard, of course. I mean, even a controller's not going to compete with a mouse and keyboard, but at least it would do better. But if you had that mobile controller, you can get like the controllers. That would be really the only way that I think it would be.
But yeah, even those mobile controllers, I've yet to find one that is decent with joysticks. I mean, with D-pads, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the mobile controllers, they're...
It's
I
our
don't
time.
like them.
It's our time. Some Tekken news on its way.
Yeah, Noctis is in coming to Tekken. So if Prince
so
Noctis,
cool. I love these characters coming to fighting games. So much fun.
If you like Prince Noctis and you like Tekken, he will be in Tekken, which is very, very cool. So also,
last but not least, one of
Yeah.
my favorite stories.
well, actually, before we do
here-
that,
okay,
quick thing,
Sorry.
I didn't put it in the news, but Destiny 2
Yes.
is actually having their faction rally this week.
Oh,
so
very
if
nice.
you're looking to get some cool armor, I think New Monarchy actually has the best armor right now. Be sure to get in, choose your faction, and grind
Let me ask
away.
you. You were big into you were hopping into Destiny last week. Did you continue that? Did you finish it
I've
this
only
week?
played 2 games, Sea of Thieves and Destiny.
Oh, so let me tell you what are you doing in Destiny right now?
Right now, I'm
How are you
doing
liking being back
I'm
in it?
doing the faction rep because the gear for New Monarchy Titans is
Sure.
probably some of the coolest gear there. I got a picture of it right there. It's probably some of the coolest gear I've ever
Boom.
seen.
There you
So
go.
It's pretty
Now, have
legit.
you had a chance to
But-
jump into the Destiny with any Destiny clanmates via the Destiny channel?
Our brother.
on Discord. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
jump in there. They're always doing
Yeah.
cool stuff.
No,
Super-
yeah. I
super cool
actually
group
got
of
a
guys
message
and-
to see if I wanted to do the raid layer, but I was just getting off at the time, so I didn't have time to do it. But no, I really like Destiny. I think Bungie's another great developer alongside Rare, and I've been having fun with both those games this week.
Very cool.
And then last but
Elder
most certainly not
Scrolls.
least,
Elder Scrolls Online.
announced their new expansion.
Somerset.
Somerset.
Coming
It
this
takes
summer.
place in the High Elves' homeland, and it's coming, I believe, June 5th.
This trailer looked really good.
It did.
This trailer looked cool. So there's a couple trailers. There's a couple trailers. There's like the story trailer, then there's a gameplay trailer. Looked very cool.
So there's going to be a bunch of new features, new land, new quest, new story, all that stuff. New trial, which is their version of raids. Very cool.
So I will say this: watching this trailer in ESO, I think it's definitely, at least the presentation that they showed here, is a big time improvement over even just the base game. Like, it looks alive, it looks full, it looks fun. It really made me want to jump back in to ESO in a big way.
It really does. Yeah, the same thing Morrowind did.
So I kind of have avoided ESO with the hopes. I thought that Black Desert Online would be coming out this month or next month, or it's March now, in this first quarter. I don't think Black Desert's coming online until later this year now, at this point.
Well, they still haven't announced anything. I mean, we're still within the first quarter.
But at this, I can't. It's
maybe
like,
they'll come out like on the
like
last
the date.
day of the
I can't
first quarter.
stand around waiting for someone to never show up at the date. Yeah. So I think I'm going to be jumping into ESO because of this trailer. I want to be leveled up. I want to be able to do the things in this trailer.
Yeah.
Any? Are we getting any new abilities? Any new? I think
so there's some new abilities that you can go through. I mean, I didn't look through them all, and I probably don't know them all because I'm not, all that smart at ESO. But yeah, you're getting new abilities. You're getting the new trial. You're getting the new land, new story. It looks like a good expansion. So
it really does.
I assume it's going to be the same, like $40, just like Morrowind was.
Yeah.
But and the new land I think looks really cool. So, but
let me ask you this: seeing this. I want you're the MMO master. We have.
I would agree.
Just off.
Jordan, you're the
just
MMO
off
master.
the top of my head. Now, I'm not even talking about console specific. I'm talking overall MMOs at this point. Where does ESO rank? I feel like outside of World of Warcraft, with this expansion, with the announcement of this expansion, I think ESO has got to be that number 2 spot.
I think it ranks number 2. You can probably argue it ranks number 3 as well, but it's in the top. I think it ranks number 3, actually.
Really?
So,
what do you put at number 2? Guild Wars?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, I see. I always forget.
Reborn,
Final
and then I would put ESO, and then I'd put.
So here would be. Let me guess what your top 5 are.
Yeah.
At this point, you're gonna have World of Warcraft at number 1. Somewhere in there, you're gonna have ESO. Yeah. Final Fantasy. I completely forgot about Final Fantasy, which Final Fantasy looks amazing. I wish that was on the Xbox. You've got Black Desert Online.
I would put Black Desert Online in there just because what you can do in that game, and I'd put Guild Wars in there too, just because I feel like they're good for the MMO genre.
Rank.
I don't. Guild Wars is hard because I don't like a lot of what they do, but what I don't like, a lot of other people do like. And I see how they.
What you don't like is the no triangle.
Yes, I personally,
the Holy Trinity is.
I think it's cool. Like ESO has taught me, like I love being able to shift between classes, but they have the triangle as well. You want a healer, you want a tank, you want a DPS, right?
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
DPS, tank, healer,
tank, healer, DPS.
Yeah.
So
remember what was our handshake?
So it's tank,
and
then there's hero tank.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then healer, and then
DPS. That's the handshake. So you go like this. Ready? Do it again.
So tank, healer, DPS.
Oh man, you gotta for those of you listening, go watch this on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the handshake.
You got a fist, and then you cover the fist with a hand, and then you slap it.
Yeah,
tank, healer, DPS.
Guild Wars, I like Guild Wars, and I think it has a lot to offer. I think they did a lot. They brought in the dynamic events. They did world versus world, right? Mm-hmm. But I really enjoy I like having okay, this is my role in this particular class, Okay. And I know you can somewhat do that in Guild Wars. It's just not as fleshed out as in like ESO.
So World of Warcraft number 1. What is the coveted number 2 spot for you?
It's Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Now, what puts Final Fantasy over ESO?
How hot everyone is.
And
that's why Black Desert Online is on there too. It's fantastic to be a hot character.
Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn is, first of all, they come out with fantastic expansions, and it really is World of Warcraft but Final Fantasy. I mean, there's a few different things that they do, like their global cooldowns are a little bit longer, which can turn people off, but it's World of Warcraft just in Final Fantasy's world with their own lore and stuff like that. I mean, they do an excellent job. I feel like it's a good MMO.
It's as engaging.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very nice. So ESO Somerset
And then at USO, I'd probably put it number
Ranked
three.
But it has moved to the top. I mean, that is.
I think this is a good
I
example.
think it's really become a premiere. When
Yeah.
it first came out, it was kind of lacking. I
Had a rough
wasn't.
start.
I jumped in. I liked it. I leveled out my character, which is good for a MMO. I put a bunch of hours in there and did that. It didn't necessarily keep me coming back for end game, and I've not jumped back in it too hard. But at this point, seeing the way that it's supported and the new things and just the way it looks and works makes me want to jump back in. And I think this is one of the best supported games. This is an example of a studio, and I think Sea of Thieves will have a similar thing. As long as they keep supporting it and bringing new things, you can really change the game, improve the game, bring it back.
Did you ever play EverQuest?
Me? No, I played the first MMO I ever played in my entire. I mean, I have played EverQuest. I've gone back and played it, but the first MMO I've ever played was RuneScape.
Okay.
And then from that point, I jumped into World of Warcraft right a week. I'll never forget the first time I played World of Warcraft was a week before Burning Crusade launched.
Okay.
So I can say for a week I was vanilla. I was there from the beginning that last week, and then the new expansion came out, and then from that point, I've been there ever since. But yeah, there's another game I want to play that basically started MMOs, and that's called Ultima Online. And I've never played that one, and I can't find it anywhere. It's an old game.
Yeah.
But EverQuest actually came after that, and then World of Warcraft came after that, right? But EverQuest was good.
Yeah. Okay, I had to say that because we have a guy in chat that really likes EverQuest.
No, EverQuest was good. Yeah, I enjoyed when I went back and played.
For a lot of people, EverQuest is the standard for MMOs.
And if you actually watch the Warcraft documentary, Warcraft was because of EverQuest and Ultimate Online. They basically said, "Hey, I like EverQuest, but what if we did this?" You know what I mean? And that's basically how
Can
Warcraft
we put our
was
own
born,
mark on
right?
it?
But I like to give every MMO a good the old college try.
You've also played. Freaky RO in chat brought up Star Wars. Where does Star Wars land?
Oh,
for
Star
you?
Wars. I don't know, because it's cool because it's Star Wars. Honestly, this is where Star Wars lands. Every time a new movie comes out, I'm like, yeah, I want to play Star Wars. I play it for a week and then I leave.
Yeah.
I played it big when it first came out, and I maxed a character. I still have that account. I just don't like. I mean, their pay model's okay, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not in the top 5. I think the story and stuff is cool, and I want to get back. The thing is. Okay, Star Wars is kind of like The Division for me.
Sure.
I jump in, I have a good time, but then I'm like, why
this is Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh, Star Wars Galaxies?
Yeah.
I never played Galaxies. I played Old Republic.
Oh, Old Republic.
But it's the gateway drug to the harder drug, right?
Yeah, that's because Division, although a very fun game, when I jumped into Division, I just went, I got to play Destiny. You know what I mean? And that's how Star Wars. I play Star Wars, Old Republic, and I'm like, I got to jump back into Warcraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I never played Galaxies, but I did play Old Republic. And it sounds like Galaxies is actually a lot better.
Yeah.
That's what the people are saying.
That's what the people in chat are saying right
Another
now,
good MMO that is free to play right now that I think got looked over is WildStar.
Oh, the combat in that is so fun.
I think that was a really good MMO.
I like the character. This is actually brought to you by the guys that did Guild Wars.
No, Warcraft.
WildStar?
Oh, okay. So I think WildStar is actually done by. Sorry. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think ArenaNet or whatever is the publisher.
Yeah,
but
publisher.
The guys worked at Blizzard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
The fighting in that, amazing. Mm-hmm. The personality in that, so fun.
I just think it maybe came out at the wrong
time. Is that game not supported?
No, it's supported. And from what I hear, it's actually there's quite a lot of people playing it now that it's done its free to play model.
Yeah,
but,
I jumped into that game and I don't know how far. I think I leveled a character like level 20. I don't even remember. But the fighting in that game. So Guild Wars, I think, was the perfect gateway for me into MMOs because it was dynamic fighting. You moved, stuff like that.
It was action-y.
It was action-y.
Yeah.
WildStar took that to the next level and combined action-y with strategy. And they did a fantastic job. And they had really cool permanent player housing rewards, stuff like that. They did a really good job. But anyways, we're way off topic here. I think ESO Somerset, basically what I'm trying. I think ESO has done a good job of supporting this game, and I'm really excited for the future of it. There was a time where I was like, man, good try, but you're not quite there. I'm glad ZeniMax is behind it. I'm glad Bethesda's 100% behind it. I'm glad it's constantly supported and coming out with new content and new stuff, and I'm going to be jumping back into it.
Well, I think the best thing ESO did was that one Tamriel update.
Yeah,
I think that was the turning point for them.
Yeah, it's a shame it didn't start with that because I don't think you would have had as much people leave, because what happened is I could not play with McSpicy jumped in and I was only 6 levels higher than him at the time because we both had first started and it was impossible.
Well,
we just couldn't play together.
That's your nature of the MMO, right? I mean, they're naturally like that. But I think I don't know. I think they went into work and their stuff guy said, "Hey, you guys want to make money?
But you got to let people play together.
Let's do this."
And
they did it in the one
2015. Let's let people play together.
Yeah,
and they did, and it's fantastic.
It is.
Moving over, that's the best news story of the day right there.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our discussion segment. Oh, there it is. This is the portion of the show where we take your questions. You can post a question every week over on Facebook, facebook.com/X1Bros. It's a good time. Don't forget, also join us Monday through Friday. Every morning I stream over at mixer.com/X1Bros. It's so much fun. It's my favorite way to start the morning. I love hanging out with everybody in the community. We talk, we laugh, we cry together. It's a good time. We've been working on a big project in Minecraft where we knocked down a bunch of stuff to create the suburbs, if you will.
We destroyed the rainforest.
We destroyed the rainforest in order to create the suburb. It took a lot of work, but we've been working on that. I've also been doing Sea of Thieves over on Mixer. Anyways, come join me every Monday through Friday, first thing in the morning, 7 Eastern, 7 to 9:30 Eastern, I believe is the time. I always get confused with Eastern time. I should probably write that down on this piece of paper.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't forget. First question.
Yeah.
Comes from Charles Carmichael.
All right, Charles.
It's kind of along the line of an
Charles,
MMO.
I like that.
Kind of has something to do with Sea of Thieves. Here's what Charles writes in and says, how long do you need to play an MMO like Sea of Thieves before it can generate an adequate and fair opinion and review of the game? Also,
that's a hard question.
Also, with the game as a service model with constant addition and patches, at what point do you need to re-review the game? That is a really good question. Thank you so much, Charles, for writing that in. Let's start. Can I start?
Yeah. Okay. We talked about it.
We talked about it, and it was.
I think you
unanimously. Go ahead.
I've been watching a lot of reviews, and I'm actually on Sea of Thieves. And I'm actually disappointed in a lot of reviews. And here's one where I think IGN is doing it correctly. And I think IGN actually has a good review model.
Now they do.
For these types of games. They do re-reviews, but they do review in progress videos now where this is week 1, this is week 2. They don't do it until they get to end game content on this. And then they review the game. And so many of the reviews, most of the reviews for Sea of Thieves dropped last night or today. And most of them did not reach endgame stuff.
Oh, I guarantee they didn't.
In that, if any of them did. And so your review, I feel like for these types of games, you have to at least get to level cap or the first endgame or do the first endgame activity at least before you can rate the game. And then as far as doing re-reviews, I think you do a re-review anytime a major patch comes out, and I'm not talking like, oh, we fixed this bug, I'm talking about a major patch or a major DLC expansion. Then you re-review it, and then at that point, I think each year you do 2018 re-review, a 2019 re-review, and I think actually this is one where I think IGN, they adjusted, and I can't remember what game they adjusted for because they gave it terrible reviews at launch.
Well, take a pick.
It might have been Destiny. I think it might have been the first Destiny game that everybody hammered.
Yeah.
And then they decided, they came back and said, this is how we're going to treat these type of ongoing games. We won't come out with a final review until a few weeks in, and then we'll re-review it with content. And I think they've done actually a really good job. I think that's the way you handle those reviews.
No, I agree. I think you need to beat the game before you, like when we all talked about it, that was all our first impressions. I mean, we're only a week in.
Yeah.
And we're nowhere close to beating the game.
Yeah, this is as of right now.
I don't know if this is unfortunate or not, but with these types of games like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, Sea of Thieves, Destiny, you can't just beat it in a week. Essentially, you got to wait for that content to come out. You got to reach that end game. Well, Destiny, I guess you can beat in a week, but
you can actually get the max character in about 3 hours.
Yeah, but the raid hasn't released. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like,
yeah.
and that was the thing that frustrated me about Destiny 1 when everybody came out reviewing it. They're like, it's great. The raid comes out next week, but yeah, it could be fun. And it's like, no, wait for it. You know what I mean?
You've got to
Get the
wait. That's
full-
such a big
get the
part
full
of the game.
experience of the game. And that's why I feel like some of these reviews that I watched, I mean, I think some of them have good criticisms, just like any other, person, but no one mentioned anything about reaching Pirate Legend. They all said the goal is to reach Pirate Legend. Well, why didn't you complete that goal? You know what I mean? I think it's just they want to get it out quick, but I think you should do review in progress. I think IGN's doing it right.
I think IGN's doing it. I have to give them a lot of credit because with reviews, you want to be the first one out, especially if you're a YouTube reviewer or if in a news agency, you want to be the first one out because you want to get everyone's looking. What is this game like? What are your reviews like? And I give IGN a lot of credit. I think they took a step back and they're doing this genre of games. They're definitely doing right, and they've not released their review yet.
They do review in progress, and they have like.
And what it is a discussion, and what they do is it's like a 14-minute video, and they say this is what we've played so far, and while they're playing it, here's what I like, this is what I dislike so far. And then after a couple of those, at a few weeks, they release their final one.
And what's really nice about that is they say something 1 week, and then 2 weeks later, they're like, "We've reached this point, which makes this part actually better."
Yeah,
and
with these types of games, you really do have to take your time. McSpicy, anything to add, take away, agree, disagree?
No, I mean, it's such a hard question because a game like this takes time to review, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. Those that finish the game are usually the people that like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and those forced to play it, say like a reviewer, they're forced to play it. Even if they don't like it, they're going to hate it worse as they're forced to play it for the review. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's such a hard. I don't know how to answer that, honestly. But I'm not a guy that watches reviews or anything like that. I stay away from them. So what is an adequate amount of time where you can give a justifiable, review of a game? I have no idea.
I think developers, and I don't know if they do this because we're not in the review scene necessarily. I mean, we're not trying. That's not our shtick, right? We're not trying to get the game right away or early and then
review,
play it and push it out and review it. That's just not our shtick. We've tried it. It's a very hard thing to do. So huge credit to guys that do it.
Yeah.
But I think maybe game developers, especially with a game like this, should say, "Hey, we recommend you get to this level before you," or we
that's what Destiny
I think
did.
Destiny did do that. They're like, "Hey guys, just so you know, you should wait till this patch releases,
till the raid comes,
and then give us your full opinion." And then day one, they're like, no."
But with all fairness to the industry, the Destiny was a little bit first of its kind, especially on a console.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is the one where afterwards now they change it and they do update reviews all the time, and they'll take their time.
Well, even like the second part of that question, when you get constant patches and stuff like that, at what point do you go back to review a game? I think of a game like The Division.
Oh, it's completely different today.
Completely different
launch.
And arguably way better.
So much better.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. At what point
do
you go back and review the 2.0 version of the game, right?
Yeah. I think at 2.0, every major patch, like for example, you come back and you review Destiny, you come back and you review Curse of Osiris.
What defines that? Because Division had like a million patches.
Well, yeah, DLC, full
did,
DLCs,
full
like a survival expansion, like Curse of Osiris. Like for example, they came back and reviewed Curse of Osiris, but maybe in that review also say this is all, which they kind of did, is all the other changes they made with the base Destiny.
There are some big reviewers that I enjoy. There's a MMO reviewer especially, and that I really enjoy, and he does yearly. And I'll type in. So for instance, the EVE Online is a game that I always look at because I just like the way that game looks.
It's a hardcore game.
And you type in review of EVE Online, and you get it from way back at release, which doesn't tell me what is it like today.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of reviewers that you can see. EVE Online review of 2016 and 2018, and those are the ones that I watch. So I feel like if there is no benchmark of DLC or stuff, and it's just little patches, annual. I think yearly reviews on these big games is always a good thing.
That's okay. Yeah, I agree.
At least is at least a minimum bar to set, right?
That's easy for me to just say. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. There you go. Great question. Thank you so much, Charles Carmichael, for writing that in. Next question comes from Kelly Adams. I think this is a really good one. He wants to know how single-player games can or should add community elements or multiplayer elements. So let's take a game like Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something CD Projekt Red could do? I don't necessarily want a multiplayer element in that game, but a community element. How can single player games like The Witcher add a community element or a multiplayer element to that game, or should they even? Single player games.
I think it depends on the game. Like, for example, Witcher, the nice part about Witcher is I turn off the world. You know what I mean? And I go into the Witcher, and
I know.
That's my world.
And you turn the lights off, and you paint your toenails black.
Yeah.
Put that black lipstick on.
So, I mean, that's
things get scary when Jordan plays Witcher.
There are games that benefit from multiplayer, and there's games that benefit from not having multiplayer, right?
Yep.
I think a way to do it for a game like The Witcher 3 if you wanted to, but again, I don't think The Witcher 3 needs it, and I don't necessarily want it in The Witcher 3, but stuff like high scores for quests, different things like that, you know what I mean? That's
and I agree. In these
leaderboards.
single player stories, I don't want multiplayer necessarily, so I'll take that part. That I don't think they should do multiplayer. I think they should do community stuff, like high scores,
like a high score quest line, stuff like that. Like, this guy finished this quest in this amount of time.
Ronan says in Final Fantasy, single player has community objectives to do.
Yeah.
Do you like those? You think that they did a good implementation?
It's essentially an event, just like multiplayer games have as well, right? I mean, there's this huge event going on, like they usually theme it around different holidays and stuff. But yeah, everybody go in and collect this much stuff.
I'll give you an inane example because it really doesn't matter, but it is interesting to see at the end of a Telltale game, you see this is how the community. This is your choices. This is the community choices. That's a community.
Yeah, that's a online element.
Element to it, but it's not bringing in multiplayer necessarily, which I don't think for single player games that you need. Mr. McSpicy, how about you? How do single players should single players have community or multiplayer elements, and if so, how do you bring those in?
I like my single players to be single players, and I like my multiplayers to be multiplayers.
Sure.
I personally think that if a developer, I'm gonna get on a soapbox. If a developer decides to make a pure single player experience like The Witcher, that they shouldn't get flack for that. I think they know their resources. They know how much money they have to develop a game. And if you have that influence from the outside complaining or whatnot about how it doesn't have multiplayer, then they may crack. They may go, okay, let's divert some of our assets over to multiplayer. And I think you get a lesser single-player game experience. I like single-player games, and I like them single-player games. And I like multiplayer games, and I like them multiplayer games. Sure. And, you get games that are good with both. But, for example, Titanfall, the first Titanfall, I was annoyed when everyone was complaining that it had no single-player game. Okay? And it's a game made by the same people that did Call of Duty.
How many times did you fall through the map in Titanfall?
Exactly. I've heard arguments against that where if they have the assets to do both, then do both. That's fine, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you
Which some companies do.
Correct. I mean, you got juggernauts out there. You got big boy companies that have a lot of money to burn.
Actually, for example, Titanfall, because how they develop it is Titanfall is the main developer, but they offset stuff to the different EA studios. Sure. You know what I mean? Same like Ubisoft does, right? So
yeah. But I think single player games are I'll honestly say that single player games are one of the best games out there. I can't think of single player games that have bombed, like solely single player games that have bombed maybe I'm just not thinking, too far back, but I think of like Wolfenstein and those style of games, just they're so good. Doom, for example. Although Doom did have multiplayer in it, and
Doom's multiplayer very underrated. It is fantastic.
Yeah. But I just think that the single-player games that have come out in the last 4 years that are solely single-player games are some of the best games out there.
Yeah,
I don't think they should get heat for not adding multiplayer kind of thing.
Yeah,
so what about the question?
What about so that's multiplayer, and I agree. I don't like, for instance, Witcher. I don't necessarily want to see, but I do like when single-player games have community elements where I can see.
What do you mean by that?
So for instance, I can see. Let's use something like in
Final Fantasy, like where they do the
community objectives, or for instance in Witcher, let me see maybe how many tournaments you won in Gwent versus me. Like compare me to the community.
Oh,
or,
I get you.
Or stuff like that.
Well, just like you
I
said
think
with
that
your
enhances the experience. With Telltale, where at the end it says, "Here's what you chose. Here's what 80% of the community chose." Or
Yeah.
Just adding those kind of features in there, I think really it keeps me in the world, in that single player world that makes that game so good. But then it shows me, here's a little bit of, here's your friends list. Here's what your friends did. And you can have that comparison. Something like that. I appreciate those community type of elements.
Yeah, I mean that's fun, but that's not a deal breaker for me by any means.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it is. It's like putting it's a cherry on top.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go occasionally. Like Prominence Poker, I mean, that's a multiplayer game, but I really like going into that and just seeing who's all playing that and where I like. Fortnite has that. The leaderboards. You can compare your friends, even though that's purely multiplayer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thinking about like Witcher, where you see how many Gwent games.
Or how many certain types of monsters you've killed. Stuff like that would be really cool.
I can guarantee
how many dates
you.
you've gone on.
How many dates you've gone on. I can guarantee you I'm up near the top with the Gwent games.
See, and
How
if
many
you
people
weren't,
you've boxed.
how long would you spend just playing Gwent or doing Gwent
that's
tournaments
true.
in that game?
That'll get me to play that more.
Yeah.
I'll concede. I like that concept.
It's kind of like when you see some of the achievements and you're like, why are they?
But that
15 higher
is a
than me?
community element. That's not a multiplayer element.
Yeah.
I don't think you need multiplayer in which I think actually that ruins the game.
Yeah, and like a game like
Unless
Witcher,
you make
yeah.
a separate game that's an MMO game for Witcher, I would be all about that. MMO Witcher World. I'm there.
MMO
Yeah.
Witcher World.
MMO Witcher World. Dude, you know
It
Harry
sounds
Potter?
like-
You know
that
Harry
sounds
Potter
like
World?
a Disneyland.
Dude,
like
yeah,
a
you know Harry Potter World? You give me Witcher World.
a Six Flags Witcher
Six
World.
Flags
You have
Witcher
Geralt
World.
walking around.
That's a rough
You know,
world, man.
Their
That's
mascots instead of
a mature
you know,
world.
Princess walking around.
Trissland.
Triss walking around naked.
You got to be 18 to get into that
I
world.
mean, it's an adult only
Yeah, you'd have to be.
amusement park.
Maybe in Vegas.
Great question, Kelly Adams. Great discussion. Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to Darth Daddy. He has been listening to the podcast for 4 years since we started, and this is his first
Have we been
time.
doing this for 4 years?
This is his first time live in chat, so congratulations.
Yes.
Well, welcome to Mixer. Welcome to the live stream. Do we have something? Do we have?
Yeah, I'll just do the golf clap. That's an easy one to do.
I like it.
Nice calling. Thank you.
Thank you. Golf clap.
Welcome,
Darth Daddy. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Darth Daddy.
So excited. Again, please come join us every Friday. We go live here on Mixer. Mixer.com/X1Bros.
Forza World would be a great world to go to.
Forza World would be. I think they have that's called the Indianapolis 500.
Well, that's the circle,
Yeah.
over and over. That, which, by the way, those races scare me in that
they're
game.
fun.
Oh my gosh!
They're-
You're fast.
When in Forza 6, when they put you right into that Daytona 500 race, and you are just
They're so much fun.
Scares me.
We have two announcements to button up here.
Yeah.
Community
Need some
play.
juice?
We do
No,
a community play the first
the
and
good
third
stuff.
Saturday of every month.
Mountain Dew.
April 7th though is the April 7th is the first Saturday
It's hardcore
of the
man.
month, and we are actually will not have a community play that day. We've had something come up. Our next community play will be the April 21st, and we are going to be doing Battlefield 1 again.
How did the last one go?
We did it this last week.
unfortunately.
So that game is just so much fun. Let me tell you where it sucks though. It took us about 30 minutes to all get in a game because the menus, how you choose games, how you get into games
That's half the fun.
is a huge pain. But once you're in, there's a game that has merged.
Did you
I'll tell
guys do like private matches on a server, full on matches, or how?
no, full on. They were full on matches. McSpicy hopped in on a couple matches there too. It's super
Yeah,
fun, man.
I slept
so, so,
I
but
came
so,
at the end.
so much fun. We're getting to the point that developers need to make big games because we're maxing out. So I had 27 requests of I'm interested for Battlefield. We can only have in party 16. In Battlefield, anyone could jump in.
Yeah, I have a solution to that we can talk about after the
We
show.
could use Discord.
Yeah, and it's easy. Just plug your phone in because the phone we've done that before with
Yeah.
Discord on our phones.
Yeah.
Does
That's how
Discord have a limit? I know you can
No.
at least
No,
do 25.
No, I have seen Lyric open it up to everybody, and
Oh,
it is
okay.
chaotic.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Anyways, so April 7th, the first Saturday of this month, there will be no community play. The next one will be the third Saturday, April 21st, and then we'll be back on a regular schedule. After that, we've had something come up. Rune Trelvik it is the man's birthday. Happy
All
birthday.
right, happy
Do we have
birthday.
something we can play for Mr. Rune Trelvik? It's his birthday. He says, give me a shout out so my life has
Hey,
meaning.
give us the grunt.
Mr. Rune Trelvik, your life has meaning. Oh, yeah, there it is. The happy birthday grunt right there for Rune Trelvik.
An Old Spice whistle. There we go.
Happy birthday, Rune. That does us for the week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It is always such a good time sitting down, talking games with the bros. This community is awesome. Mr. McSpicy, what will you be up to, and where can people find you?
I'll still play some Sea of Thieves. I've let Overwatch. I haven't played in like 3 weeks.
So you want to check out this new. Jordan got you a little horny for Overwatch, didn't he?
Kind of did with the Baggett character.
The baguette.
The baguette.
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins. But no, definitely Sea of Thieves, definitely Fortnite, definitely Overwatch. Maybe not Overwatch. It's nice. Overwatch is a game I can just always go back to whenever I want.
Yeah.
I still have to do my matchmaking, so I make sure I get that tag. But
Yes.
that's what I'll be doing. You can find me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Mr. McSpicy.
Boom. Jordan.
Yeah, I'm Jordan the Man XOB everywhere on everything. And I will be playing Destiny, trying to do the faction rally as much as I can to get that sweet, sweet armor. And Sea of Thieves. Because it's a little goal of mine. I want to get all the achievements in Sea of Thieves. I believe there's like 60 of them. There's a lot. So, and they're tough. And I want to become a pirate legend. So
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to become a pirate legend? One thing that I forgot to do, I got to put this in my notes here. We have these PDF notes that we use that help keep me organized. That have really helped me. Mr. McSpicy created them. One day we're keeping them as a binder. We'll sell it as a book or something.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. It's our journal. It's our
with all my notes
gaming
on here.
journal.
I forgot to do the leaderboards, the True
Oh.
Achievements leaderboards for this week. If you want to join the community leaderboards, you can do so over at trueachievements.com and just search for XoneBros and you'll be able to jump in there. This week we've got Gambler, 6464, Koosh Moose, Stushnikin, Full Silhouette, and Fufu Koodly Puff round out the top 5. Congratulations, guys. TrueAchievements.com. Search the XoneBros leaderboard. Jump on that. Compare yourself to the rest of the group. I think we're close to. Are we close to 400 guys now that you're comparing yourself to in the community? We're up there. Anyways, it's a good time. Go check us out. Congratulations to everybody in the top 5. Jordan,
can you look at us? Not because I'm trying to be a jerk, but I feel like I did good this month.
Let's just compare the 3 of us.
Yeah, I feel
to
like
each other.
I feel like I've done. I haven't done the best because I'm stuck in all these multiplayer.
I'm going to be
games,
embarrassed,
but I want to know where we stand. I'm probably last, but I want to know where we stand. I like to know who's who.
I wasn't prepared.
Well, because there was that handful of achievements we got with Sea of Thieves. All of us,
but
probably
we all got the same ones.
Yeah. So but I got a couple Destiny ones. I feel like I've
Destiny achievements.
Huh? Yeah.
Wow.
I've been playing Destiny.
I know, but,
yeah.
but that's a game. Like once you get them, you're done.
I got some more.
Unless they're really hard. Good for you. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just curious where we're at.
Do you want me to do some music in the background to help you while you look it up?
No. I'm just keep talking there.
Yeah.
While
So
I'll just give us some elevator.
I think
music.
I got an Assassin's Creed achievement.
There we go.
I tried to go through that game. And
I am there.
Did you get it?
So,
Did you
okay, yeah. Where do we stand?
Here we go. Here is where we stand between the 3 of us. Now, keep in mind, we're not achievement hunters. We've not been trying to achievement hunt, so our scores are, compared to the rest of the community, relatively low. Mr. McSpicy, this is in no particular order.
Okay.
Mr. McSpicy has a true achievement score of 185.
Respectable.
Wait, 185? Like, what is that? Like, only had 185.
How many
total
achievements did he get?
11.
Up, see? That's not bad.
I'm embarrassed.
11.
Jordan the Man has a true achievement score of 628.
Hey,
this was a bad month.
How many did I have?
You had 20.
Hey, that's not bad. 20 achievements.
And X1
I bet you had to watch you.
had a true achievement score of 265.
Oh, how many achievements?
So Jordan with 8. So I had a higher true achievement score, but less achievements from Mr. McSpicy. Ironically enough,
yours are Minecraft.
Ironically enough, it is Minecraft.
Yeah.
So want to know what happened on Minecraft? There's this one achievement. I forget what you have to do. Oh, you have to have a duplicator, and you something with a duplicator that you put in, and it pops out like a piece of food or something. Anyways,
pizza food.
I don't know.
I love pizza.
So there was 7 guys in the community in the realm. Freaky RO was hanging out with them all, and they were all trying to get this achievement. And Oz Bundy Boy put it in, and it popped the achievement for every single person in the realm, including myself.
That's pretty funny.
It was awesome.
And you're just like,
so that's a good time.
Wait, so they had an achievement for duplicating?
Duplicating.
No. So
Pizza.
sorry, I'm talking about a hopper. I call it the duplicator, but it's popping out of a hopper.
Okay, because they have an achievement
This
for
Minecraft
glitching
lingo.
their game.
Yeah.
They just throw it in there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so much fun.
Do you want a
Anyways,
peanut butter bar?
there you go. I am. Those look really good. I am XoneBros everywhere. Don't forget, please check out our YouTube channel. Check us out on Instagram. I will be playing Sea of Thieves. Obviously, I'll be playing some Minecraft. Obviously, I've also been jumping back into Game Pass. Game Pass, I'm doing single story games in Game Pass. So currently I'm on the original Darksiders.
That's a good one.
And Tomb Raider. Playing Tomb
That's
Raider
a
with
good
the
one.
wife. The new Tomb Raider, going through that. So it's a good time. Thank you again so much, everybody. This is the best gaming community on the planet. Thanks for being a part of it. We love you guys. Have a great rest of your week. See you next week, guys.